Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the It's All Light podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Bob Brazier, and I'm so excited to be back. It's been a long break, but this is something that brings light to my life, and I hope it can bring light to yours as well. Today's guest is Jocelyn Zesiger.
Hello.
So she and her husband were actually on the podcast, I think, in the 80s of the episodes. I'll link it in our show notes so you can find it and listen to it. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a mom. I love baking. I love reading. I also have my own business. So I do spray tans and lash extensions. I feel like I kind of like dabble in a lot of different things. Like I love travel and all those kinds of things. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in mom mode most of the time, but I have like a lot of fun interests too.
She's not giving herself enough credit. She does everything. And she did my spray tan for my wedding. Go look at my pictures. It was literally perfect. And it was the perfect color. And she makes cakes. She made her own wedding cakes. I remember her cute wedding and all the yummy cakes and flavors. And I'm trying to think. We've done so many things that I'm like, you just listed a few of them, but I'm like, there are more. Some things you said in the form, you're from Draper, and
Yeah.
we're like in the same area, but I never knew you. Just I
Yeah.
think you're a bit younger than me.
Yeah.
But it's so fun that she's in Draper. She loves sushi, reading, and baking. What are you reading right now?
I have actually been terrible at reading lately. I'm trying to get back into it. I have like a couple of books. My favorite genre is like thriller, like
Mm,
mystery type of thing. My
fun.
mom's actually writing a book right
Oh,
now,
no
and so I'm
way.
proofreading her book and editing it for her. So like I guess you could say I'm editing and reading her book, which is like a mystery kind of like horror romance type of thing. So it's like
How
stay
cool.
tuned for that whenever she publishes that, but it's just
How
kind of a small
fun.
project.
There's this, I'm going off track for a sec. There's a November writing challenge for like people who want to write a book or something. And I mean, it's 4 days in. I'm like, maybe I still can catch up because I'm like, it'd be fun just to write and see what comes out of my head. But
Yeah,
good for
no,
her. That's amazing.
yeah, it's really cool because like I don't know, I feel like everyone thinks about writing a book at some point in their life, and like the fact that she's doing
Right?
it, I'm like, this is so cool.
Well, and your husband has a book, right?
Yes,
What's
yeah,
it
he's
called?
fully done. It's called X's and No's. The things you sorry, the breakup advice you don't want to hear. So they changed the title
Yeah,
so many times that I'm like, I'm trying to remember what title they stuck with. But yeah, it's fully done. So he's getting it endorsed right
so
now and it
cool.
drops in February. So
That's awesome. You are all so talented. It's
oh
amazing.
thanks.
Okay, we're ready to just dive right in. Jocelyn, what do you light up about?
I feel like I light up about a lot of things. So it's kind of hard. Like when I was filling out your form, I feel like I have like a lot of things. Obviously, I feel like my number one thing that I light up about is like motherhood, but also just kind of like finding who you are post like becoming a mom type of thing. Like I've just kind of been in that journey. And so like I feel like
Yeah,
that's like kind of the number one focus of what I light up about. But like
yeah.
obviously with like Cole being my husband being a relationship coach, like I also light up about like healthy relationships and like finding
Yes.
your person and like having been through divorce and like seeing how unhealthy relationships can be versus how healthy they can be. I really like am so passionate about that and like love everything Cole does with that. And then I light up about like travel and just like kind of like being like the best version of yourself and being super well rounded. I feel like I just like have so many things that I like want to do with my life that I'm being pulled in so many different directions when it
Mm.
comes to what I light up about. But yeah, I feel like those are just the the basic ones that I like feel like I light up about the most.
Well, I feel like you feeling like you're being pulled in many directions on the outside looking in. I'm like, she's doing it all and she's doing it all well. Like
Oh,
you're
that's great.
tackling, and I
Oh,
feel like you like space it out though. Like I feel like you're not trying to do all of them. Like I follow you on your socials, which I'll link them below. She's really fun to follow. Lots of great tips and cute things. So
thanks.
I always love your cute workout sets, going to Pilates. I'm like, I want to be her. So
Oh
cute.
my gosh, that's so nice.
But
I
I
feel like it's
feel
my
like
heart half the time, so that's so funny to hear.
oh, well, you do your routines though, and I feel like that's just evident in what you showcase and how you live your life. Plus, like I see you not just on social, so I get
Yeah.
a peek into your life and things like that. So I think that's really cool. I love that motherhood really is just so life changing. Like for all the moms I talk to, what
Yeah.
has been the biggest like shift of your life? Obviously, now you have a child you're taking care of, but like for you personally.
Yeah, I feel like it's such an interesting thing because this is like diving kind of deep, but like I have like diagnosed OCD. So I'm a very like very type A person and very like I don't know, I have a lot of like a really hard time with a lot of obsessive compulsive things. And so like the idea of shifting into a motherhood role and becoming more like selfless with my time has been such a challenge, but also like such a good thing for me mentally. Like it
Mm,
doesn't feel like a good thing most of the time, but it feels like a good thing like in the grand scheme of things when I look at it. Like I'm like this is a good thing, like this is making me grow. But like I would say that has been the hardest thing, and the biggest shift that I've felt has just been like okay, I'm totally shifting everything that I like, all my comfort zones are like totally shifting. You're kind of like now my life is revolving around this little human who I love so much and that I have to take care of and like I want to take care of. And then there's just so many things. It's almost like you just get thrown into a tornado of like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but somehow I'm day to day figuring it out. And
yeah.
like I've kind of had to dismantle like a lot of my like obsessive compulsive tendencies, which
Mm,
has been a challenge, like, and that I'm still like actively working through, just like trying to figure out how to navigate mental health with like motherhood is just a
totally.
beast. But I feel like that's been like the craziest shift is just like such a mental, like it's just such a mental thing. Like it's like lack of sleep, lack of like
Mhm.
basic needs being met. Like you don't realize how important sleep and food and exercise and all those things are until you're not having them for extended periods of time. And you're like, why do I not feel good anymore? And then you're like, oh, it's because I'm not doing this, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, it's just such a, like, the, like a shift is like not even the word I would use to describe it. I would just say it's a total like life, like you just spawned somewhere else. Like you're just like you were here and now you're like dropped somewhere else
Mm.
and you're like new terrain completely. Like
It that does sound intense. Well, you were saying things and I'm like, "Well, I don't even have a child and I relate to these things." So I'm like, I don't know how like it never seems like the right time to have a child. Like
yeah.
being married now that's in our discussion of like, okay, I'm turning 30 soon and if I want to have
Mhm.
kids, just so many thoughts and questions along that line in my
Yeah.
head. But yeah, no, it scares me, but like I hear just so much how amazing it is too. So it's like maybe people don't talk about how hard it is enough, especially like
Yeah.
with postpartum depression. I know so many women who have struggled with that, but I think it's hard to talk about because it's
Yeah.
a hard thing they're going through.
Yeah.
What has helped you try to navigate this new motherhood? And your baby's 7 months old? Wait, no,
She's a lot older. She's 15
oh
months
my
old now.
gosh, yeah, she's already a year.
Yeah,
There
she's
we go.
old now. She's a toddler now, which is
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
Freaks me out. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, like I'm still very much in the stage of trying to figure it out, I would say. Like which is a hard place to be because I feel like you're like I've been here for a while. I mean, she's 15 months old. I dealt with postpartum depression. It was actually an interesting thing because the first I had her for the first 2 months, it was like I felt amazing. I was like, I'm not pregnant anymore. I feel like myself. I feel great. And then 2 months postpartum hit and it was just like, I am not okay. And
Mm,
then since then it's kind of been like a roller coaster ride of trying like different medication, trying like hormone checking, like doing
mm,
different supplements, like kind of trying this whole journey of like trying to figure out this new normal, if you will, of like what I'm experiencing inside of my body. And
yeah.
like I said, I'm a very like obsessive person. Like I'm so type A. And so when things don't go the way that I want them to, it is really hard for me to like shift. And so like I'm very overwhelmed all the time, kind of like in fight or flight all the time. So like I feel like my brain is chaos kind of always, which is hard, but I think it's important to like kind of dismantle because like I don't know, while you say I do all these things, like I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I am not okay. Like my brain is like such a
Mm,
mess. And I'm like, I'm glad that people think I'm doing so many things, but I feel like I just like can't do the basic things I feel like I need to be doing. So it's like I think it's important to hear like both sides of how difficult it is. While motherhood is the most rewarding and like wonderful thing, and like I think it's the best, most important thing you can do with your life. Like I just like stand behind
I love
that.
that.
Like, and I just feel like it's also the most like like growth possibilities that you can have in your life. Like more than any career, more than any like anything like that, motherhood just really pushes you to like your limits, and it's like, and then it pushes you further. So it's just, it's such an interesting thing, and it's such a cool thing to be a part of. Like when I'm in my moments of feeling grateful, which they do happen, but a lot of times I'm like really mad. But like but in my moments of feeling grateful, I'm like, I'm so grateful that I'm being like refined in this way, and like kind of forced to face these like demons that I have of just like my mental health and all this stuff, like because it's like it's going to help me to ultimately be successful eventually. Like I'll
Yeah.
get this eventually. But I think like really just like kind of being well-rounded and having like dipping into a lot of different pools when it comes to where I'm grabbing from, like to fill my own cup. Because like I think a lot of people say you can't pour from an empty cup, but like as a mom, like you have to, like you are kind of
Yeah.
to pour from an empty cup, which like you're kind of always scrambling to fill that cup in some way. And I feel like while like Daisy, my daughter, fills my cup up, like I also feel like I have to grab from other places. Like that's why I still cling to my job and have that kind of outlet for myself. And then
Hmm.
so just like my fitness journey and these things like baking, these things I'm kind of trying to pull from all different areas to fill that cup up. And so I feel like it's like I'm definitely not someone that could just like throw myself into motherhood and that's like all I do, that's all I am kind of person. Like I'm more like, in order to be the best mom, I have to be more
Do these
well-rounded
other
in
things
all
too.
areas. Yeah, and I think it is hard to balance all of that, but I think that is like the key to kind of finding like yourself again postpartum and kind of getting through the really hard stuff is
Yeah.
just being more well-rounded. But it's a hard thing to navigate. Like I said, I'm very much still in the throes
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah, and then it just keeps going like to 2 kids and navigating that and navigating 3 kids and navigating your body each time and the different things it brings you, and there's always gonna be something. That's what I'm discovering, and I feel like you were saying, it, like, pushes you to your limit and then pushes you some more, like,
Mhm.
I feel like those are the thresholds where we need to become something better than we are now.
Yeah.
Like, the struggles I've had in marriage, like, I'm like, "Oh boy, I guess this is telling me I really need to be better." And it's so hard when you're just it's right in front of you and you can see it so clearly. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
"Well, where do I even begin? How do I start being actually better?"
Mhm.
It's so hard to navigate, like, every chapter of life, but
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
glad we're talking about it. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more we ideas we get, the more we're
Yeah.
able to lean on people. I've seen on, like, TikTok and Instagram, like, it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm like, we need our neighbors. We need to invite people over and have those social connections and let our kids go play with other kids, like, just so many
Yeah.
little things. I love it. So, what is one thing that you're focusing on right now, in your navigation?
I feel like I'm focusing on just kind of being present. Like
Mm.
I feel like I live very much like 10 steps ahead most of the time. Like I'm kind of just like always thinking, okay, well we're doing this tomorrow, or like I have to do this tonight, or like kind of like always just living like 10 steps ahead of where I actually am. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to be a lot more like present in my life and just be like, I need to enjoy these moments that I'm having like while they're here. And like I've been clinging a lot to the idea that like I could die tomorrow and I don't want to spend my last day of my life just cleaning my entire house obsessively, and then I didn't spend any time doing anything I wanted to do. And so like I think just trying to like manage my time in a more like I guess like reasonable way, because I am such a like a clean freak and such a person that's like, my house has to be clean. I have to do this. I have to do that before I can like enjoy myself. And I'm like, no, I actually need to just enjoy myself if I feel like I need to do that, or like, and take time when it makes sense to do the things that I need to get done, but not have that be what my entire world revolves around.
Yeah.
Um, and so I feel like that's kind of what I've been trying to focus on, and kind of getting back into like some of my habits that I have kind of let go of. Like I had gum graft surgery like a month ago. And
Mm,
so I think that like just set me back on a lot of my like routines. Cause when you get surgery, you're like down for a little bit and you're like,
totally. And
I'm
you're
not doing
taking care
anything.
of a baby.
Yeah. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting ready for the day. Like I'm not going to
Yeah.
put forth effort. And so I think just like the things that I feel like really help me is just like making time to move my body every single day, and also just like getting ready for the day, like feeling put together. Like I feel like when I feel good, when you look good, you feel good. And so
Yeah, it really is true.
I'm trying to just be more present and just try to get back into my routines that make me feel good, and like kind of showing myself more love, instead of just kind of being like, this house has to be super spotless 24/7. And if
Mm,
it's not, I'm going to freak out.
yeah. Well, I'm on the flip side of that, and my husband's more like you, so it's been fun with our
Yeah.
dynamic, but I'm like I do like things clean. Like I strive for cleanliness, but sometimes like if my sister calls and says, "Hey, we're going to be in your area," and the house is a mess, I will just leave everything and go.
Yeah.
Like I prioritize fun and family usually above everything
Yes.
else. And sometimes that comes at a cost, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, this morning instead of working out, I did all the dishes that I left after baking a billion
Yeah.
things last night. So, I don't know, we each have to figure out how we roll, but sometimes
Mhm.
I have to be okay with taking that time trying to build a routine of cleaning or of doing
Yeah.
the other thing that I know is important, at least to my spouse more than
Yeah.
me, and figuring it out that way. But
Yeah.
I hear being a mom helps you be present just more naturally. Have you felt that?
I think so, but also like, also not like, it's hard because like you are more present because you are forced to slow down in certain ways. Like you can't really like go like you wanted to. But then sometimes I find myself just getting caught up in like, okay, we got to do breakfast, then we got to do nap, then we got to do, lunch, and like this, that, or the other. And so like I feel like I get so hung up on like her routine, and that I'm getting lost in like that, instead of being like,
Mm.
what do I want to do with her? Like how do I connect with her? Like what could we do? And like luckily like Cole, her dad, is just like insanely good about like spontaneous adventure and like taking her to do things, because sometimes I will spend the entire day just like, okay, we got to do breakfast, nap, like all of the important
Which is
things.
so amazing too. You gotta give yourself credit for that.
And I'm just so focused on that. And he's like, I'm going to take her to the park. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Like she needs to go to the park. Yeah, that's great. Like, like
I love
that's
that.
wonderful. So I feel like it's good to have a spouse that kind of balances those things, where like I also want to be more on the end of like spontaneous adventure too, which is just where I struggle a little bit. Like I am just an overthinker about everything. So like Cole is very much like spontaneous adventure. I am like, we got to have a
A
routine and we got to do everything
plan.
a specific way. And if it's not done, I'm going to freak out. And so like, I feel like I am trying to be more present with just like her, and like connecting with her
I love
throughout the
that.
day in more like, just more frequently, rather than being so caught up in just like the routine of every day.
How have you seen your routines benefit your life though? I feel like there's so much power in that I don't usually live by, that I'm like, oh, I have a lot to learn in that regard.
Yeah. I feel like there is such a trade-off, because I do have a lot of people like kind of like envious, I guess could be the word, of just like how clean I am, like how my house is so put together all the time, and how this, that, or the other, like I'm up to date on all of my chores at all times. Like my house is always spick and span, and that is like the truth. Like I very rarely is my house a mess. Which I feel like it benefits just my brain, because for me it's just like, it's such a like mental, like my home is such a special place for me to like kind of find refuge, and it just makes me feel so like safe when it is put together and clean, and just makes me feel proud to
Yeah.
be there. But like when I say like people are so envious, like I wish I was more like you, I'm like, no you don't. Like I promise, no you don't. Like I'm like my brain is such a horrible, like it's like do the
Oh,
laundry, then you can sit down, like those kinds of things. So it's just like like there is such a trade-off where it's almost like you have to find a balance of the perfect medium, like it's okay to, if your sister calls, to go do something fun rather than doing the dishes, because that's important. Family is the most important thing. And then like sometimes Cole does have to stop me and be like, hey, we don't need to like do this right now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like I like have to like break out of my molds of these things because I just am so habitual with these things. But I do feel like it gives me a lot of like, it just makes me feel like very comfortable in my space. Like I feel like I am very proud of my home, and I do feel very like safe here, and like feel like it's a clean, comfortable place. And so that does give my brain a lot of peace. So I guess
Yeah,
that
that's awesome.
is the good thing about being really clean, is that I feel peaceful in my home rather than feeling like chaotic when life feels chaotic in so many
Yeah.
ways. And I honestly think it's just a grasp for control. Like I think it's just the way that I feel kind of calm in the storm of like motherhood and job and kind of
Yeah.
other things that get thrown your way, is just like having a sanctuary that is like taken care of. But like I would much rather be on the flip side of things. Like I'd much rather be the person that's like, leave the dishes, like let's go on an adventure. Like I would much rather that way, but it's just not my
Well,
personality.
I think each has its hard. I feel like from my perspective, I feel like you're so much more productive because you're getting all these things done. And on my end, it's like, oh, I've had this basket of laundry sitting there for about a few days now, and I haven't made time to fold it
Yeah,
just
it is
because
hard.
it's less of a priority. I don't know.
Yeah, it is hard because I feel like there is so much trade-off with like just taking care of yourself versus like taking care of like your space, I guess, if you will. Like I think there is value, like tons of value in kind of decompressing. And I feel like maybe some people get decompressed by cleaning, which I do feel more relaxed when my house is clean. But like for the most part, I'm spending the entirety of Daisy's nap time just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And then by the time I'm like, okay, I'm done with everything, I go to sit down for 2 minutes and she's awake. And I'm like, oh, I'm back in mom mode. And I didn't do anything like to kind of rest myself. Like I didn't give
For
myself like
you.
rest. And so I think there is like, that's where it's so hard, is like the rest doesn't come into play. So like you could say I am more productive, but then like I feel like I'm a lot more like irritable, and I struggle so much more because I'm not getting my own time. And like as like
Mm.
more of an introverted person, it's hard because then Cole gets off work and it's like let's go like do this and this, and I'm like, wait, I want to be by myself. Like I need to like decompress. Like you got to take Daisy and go do something. Like it's kind of just
Yeah.
like I'm not utilizing my time in the correct way. So I think that's
Mm.
one thing that's hard about like becoming a mom, is like you have something that is kind of pulling you and taking up so much of your time that like if you're trying to do other things, you really have to like compartmentalize, like, and put different cups, like fill different cups up a little bit. Like
Mm.
the productivity cup should be filled up, and then also you need to fill up your rest cup, but like you can't fill them up all the way, otherwise you don't have this one filled up, like, does that make sense?
Yeah, you just have to give a little where you can.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to just kind of divvy up your time in like a healthy way, which is such a challenge to kind of figure out what that looks like for like the everyday person. Because some days I'm like, this is a rest day, I have to force myself to rest, and it's like some days that's what I need. Or
Mhm.
like I'm still trying to find the balance of what is like the perfect happy medium that makes me feel my optimal self. But I think that's just a part of navigating everything.
Sounds like you're super retrospective though, and I feel like you're off to a great start of navigating it even better than maybe you were navigating it 6 months ago. Like, just the way you're talking about things, it's always the first step to start thinking and talking about it, and then
Yeah.
the implementation. That's usually where I struggle the most, is like, okay, now what? What do I do? Or, like, I wanna build some new routines in my life. And for me, I feel like I have to have it written in 5 areas of my house so I see it every day and I have a goal. Like, that's, I think, why I like running and like signing up for a race, because it's
Yeah.
like a tangible thing that I can like work toward versus, I don't know, like studying my scriptures every day. Like, there's those little things that's like, oh yeah, how am I gonna do that every day? Like, I need a
Mhm.
reward or something to like an end goal. Like, my mind is so oriented that way that it's hard for me to build these daily habits. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's been on my mind a lot lately.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I feel like routine is so important, but it is so hard to establish. Like you just really have to like prioritize like crazy, like and write everything down and really figure out what works. And it's so hard. Like I feel like routine is just so critical to like us as humans, like our brains functioning properly. And it's like
Mhm.
so many things make it hard to have routine, but it's like you kind of have to fight against all those other things.
How do you build routine? What helps you? And I know this
um
is like opposite of kind of what you were just saying, but we're going there.
yeah, I feel like it's hard because I don't really have a super hard time with routine. I think my brain like really goes towards routine like naturally, whereas like my husband Cole has ADHD, and so he has a very hard time with routine. And I feel like with him I'm like, this would benefit you so much if you like establish routine, where like he tells me, he's like, you are not somebody that does like that functions well without a workout during the day. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I know I do not function well. So I feel like I kind of have realized the things that really help me, like working out is like number one for me, like as far as
Mhm.
my routine, that is just like if I work out, my day is better tenfold. Like I just feel like I have such a better experience that day. I'm so much happier. Like I just think it's so good for you to move your body like first thing in the morning. And so like I think kind of holding on to like kind of the why behind my routines, like
Mm.
finding my why behind what I'm doing. Like with working out, I have my why. Like for a while I was on like a weight loss journey that was back in 2020, I think I went on a weight loss journey, and that was kind of my why. And then I built just like a love for just movement itself and like kind of fueling my body and taking good care of myself. And
Mhm.
then like I do feel like my confidence is also built by my routines in that way, like taking my supplements and getting ready for the day and working out. Like I feel like my confidence is just up here after that. And so I think if you figure out what your why is behind a specific routine, even if it is like, reading your scriptures or like doing these certain things, like what is my why? I feel like any advice I would give to somebody who's trying to build a routine is write down what you would want in your routine, and next to it figure out what that why is.
Mm.
And if the why is not strong enough, like find the stronger why. Like if it's not strong enough to build the routine, then you got to figure out something that sticks. Because just for me, like I was so motivated to like go on a weight loss journey because I felt so like just I was just so unhealthy and my body was just not thriving, and I was like, I need to like help myself, like I'm
Yeah.
not doing well. And so that was like my why, and I was like, this is so important. And then now like with the mental health stuff, it's like my mental health is suffering so much without this movement. And like I've kind of done more research on movement and like the benefits to sunlight right in the morning and all these things. And so I feel like that's just helped me so much. It's just like I'm like, I know this like makes me feel so much better, and like that just like works for me. And
Yeah.
like it's hard because I know that like my husband Cole's brain works so different than mine too, where it's like with like he needs like a challenge too. Like he did 75 hard and he totally excelled at 75 hard because I one told him I didn't think he could do it, which was harsh of me, but like I was like, I don't think you can do it. Like you don't really things.
Amazing.
It was like he didn't really stick to things because he didn't care enough. Like he didn't have like this thing motivated him. Whereas me telling him I didn't think he could do it was very motivating for him.
Yep. Yep.
So he was able to do it and like totally killed it. And I was like, oh, like that was great. Like, but now he's like, without 75 hard in the structure of 75 hard, it's kind of like he has a harder time sticking to those routines. So I
Me.
just don't, yeah, I just think finding the why and having it be like a
Mm.
really hard hitting why is like what helps having those routines just really stick. Cause you have to just be so passionate about the why
Yeah.
behind what you're doing. And like I think like for him, he was so passionate about the fact that I said he couldn't do 75 hard that he was
Wanted to
like, I
prove
will be
it.
doing 75 hard.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
But
I love that you said that. I think the why, at least for me too, I need the why, and then I'm so vision oriented that I have to like see how it will benefit my life. And then the more I do something, the more it becomes a routine because I see the benefit. And it's
yeah,
like little things really do add up, but it takes what, like about 21 days for those little
yeah.
things to like show something. Like I just
Mm,
started doing more arm workouts, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna give it 6 weeks and like just be consistent. Like I have to have little increments of these habits instead
Yes.
of just a lifelong habit. I am kind of like Cole. I just have to find one next
Yeah.
thing to the next. I love that. I've loved all that you've shared, and I want you and Cole back on, and I want to dive into relationships and hear your side
Yes.
and his side, because that is something I think my listeners really love, and it's something that everyone can benefit from. So I look forward to part two.
Yes.
And I love that you said, why should others know about this? In just our whole discussion today, you said balance in life is key to the happiest life.
Mhm.
Why did you put that there? Tell us more about that.
I feel like that's kind of what I was talking about of just pulling from different areas to kind
Mm,
of fill your cup up. I feel like that's where I'm like I don't just see myself as a mom. I see myself as like someone who has like dreams of traveling the world and also dreams of like having my small little business that I love and like being able to make people feel beautiful and doing that and then also baking for people that I love and doing these kinds of things. Like I feel like throwing myself into motherhood just never felt like the right move to be the best version of myself. While I am like extremely present as I can be as a mom, I'm still like also focusing on like taking care of myself and like making sure that I am like doing the things that make me feel like a person still
I
independent
love
of
that.
motherhood. Because I feel like it's so great to lose yourself in motherhood, but it's also like I also think on the other side of it, it's like, well, you should find a better version of yourself in motherhood too that is like independent of your children. Because like one day
Mm-hmm.
your children will grow and be older and won't need you anymore. And it's like you don't want to spend, 18 years only focused on your children to the point that you just don't
Lose
know.
yourself entirely.
Yeah. And so I just think
Such
that's
a good point.
what I mean by that is just like finding balance of taking really good care of yourself and loving yourself so that you can show up as the best version of yourself for your spouse and your children and your friends and just in all areas.
I love that. You also shared a quote: I am replaceable everywhere except as my daughter's mom.
Hmm.
Why did that resonate with you?
I feel like my husband and I were talking about that in the car the other day because I was just talking about like kind of this idea of being pulled in multiple different directions of like feeling like okay, what do I focus on? Like what should be my main goals right now? Like I had a thought of like, am I more inadequate because I never went to college and never got a degree and didn't ever work in the corporate world? Like I feel like I feel those like that kind of insecurity sometimes of just like choosing the lifestyle that I chose where I'm like prioritizing motherhood. And I kind of just like was praying about it, like just like what am I supposed to be focusing on? Am I less than because I don't have this like strong career like ability? Like I do have my own business, but it just feels like a kind of a job that people don't take very seriously, which is hard. And so I was just thinking about that, and then I kind of I stumbled upon that quote somewhere. I can't remember, I don't know who said it, where I saw it. I think it was TikTok or something, but it just said like you are replaceable everywhere but here, and it was just a video of like a mom with her child, and I was just like, that is so true because like even like I mean, my husband and I were talking about it's like you can get a new spouse, you can do this, that, or the other. And like, not that we want to do that, but like you can be replaced in a job, you can be replaced as a friend, you can be replaced in every area, but like you will only ever like be this child's mom. Like I am the best mom for my daughter and
Yeah,
no one else could take my place. And so like I kind of took that like as my like answer of like I am replaceable in every area of life aside from motherhood. And so like that's kind of why I am so passionate about that as well, is just because I feel like that is the most important work on
yeah,
this earth. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And it's just like
I love that.
I just feel like some moms need to hear that sometimes because it is hard to feel like you're like, oh, I'm not like in the business world, like I don't have the smarts of this or of the corporate world or whatever. But
Hmm.
I just think that that's been an important thing I've been clinging to just as of late.
Yeah, well, I admire you and all mothers. Seriously, I feel like the same sentiments from every mother I've talked to, and like watching my sister be a mom of three now. She just had a baby, and just in awe with all that you guys do as moms. And like we talked about this whole episode, just finding the ways to keep taking care of yourself and finding what lights you up, because that will only just benefit you being a mom. So I love
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, Jocelyn. It's been so fun to connect, and I hope someone out there listening found something to take away and apply to your own life. And I hope you have a little bit more light in your life.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk to you all next week. See you later.